Hey traders, so we're going to be talking about divergence. We have something called a regular divergence, and we also have something called a hidden divergence. And so we're going to talk a little bit about just divergence and all. We won't go too much in detail, but divergence is simply when you use an indicator, such as an RSI indicator, that tells us when something is overbought and oversold, and we combine that with the price action, looking at candles, and when it starts to go opposite ways, we know that something is up and we know how to trade it. So let me go ahead and deep dive into it, guys. If you struggle with finding entries or if you struggle with finding trends, this will be ideal for you guys. I'm going to keep this really short because I want to give you the gist and I'm going to show you how to spot divergence very, very easily. So stick with me throughout the end so that I can give you a specific indicator that you can use if you're using TradingView. Also, guys, if you haven't already, I want you to join our free Discord group down below. We are also talking about different things like that, especially if you're new to stocks, ETFs, or indices, and you have no clue how to trade it. Maybe you've come from the Forex world like we have. I'm here to separate those two and give you the things that are relative to those two so that it can make your trading journey pretty easy. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, guys, so let's take a look at this here. Let's follow price starting from right here. And I'm going to just draw a trend line right up to here. Now, would you say that this is an uptrend? You would say that this is an uptrend. So what I'm doing is I'm finding these higher highs right here, and then I'm connecting it to the next higher high. Now, one thing you want to do is correlate this with like an RSI. I like to use RSI, for example. Here's my RSI down here. And I like to use my crosshair because you want to make sure that it is exactly vertical from where price is at. So you can see how I am drawing a vertical line from where price is at all the way to where the indicator is at. So this is what you see right here. So what I'm looking at here for price, I'm also looking at here for my RSI. And so since I see an uptrend or I'm connecting my higher highs for price, what I should see is that my higher highs are going low here in the RSI. Okay, so now I'm connecting kind of a lower high here, and they're doing two different things. And so here's my straight line right here. And you can see how it correlates with price. So one thing you want to do is one, get something like an RSI. You can even use a MACD, for example, where it's showing price is overbought or oversold. Then you want to find in price, looking at your candles, you want to see it doing something like the opposite. You want to see the opposite, okay? I'm connecting my highs here. There's an uptrend connecting my other highs. However, my RSI has a high and it's headed down connecting to my lower high, if that makes sense. So what that typically is saying is that volume is starting to decrease and the RSI is reflecting that. So what you would want to do in your reaction should be to sell. So you always want to do what the indicator is showing, okay? So if the indicator is showing that my highs are becoming lower, once you see something like that, then it's time to sell because volume is starting to lose momentum. And look what happens, starts to lose momentum. Now, here's another key indication that that's happening. My price here is right at the 70 level or near the 70 level. That's another key indication that price may also drop as well. So that's using price as confluence when you're trading. You don't want to just trade just to trade. You want to also look at price. I see that price is right above the 70 level or near the 70 level. I see that it's starting to make highs. However, my RSI is making lows. This is where you will want to get in, and then you will exit wherever you feel comfortable at. You can exit midway of the RSI or however your strategy works for you. If you're a scalper, you may not want to wait that long. It works on any time frame, okay? Let's go ahead and show you how you can do this easier without spotting it, because sometimes it can be really, really difficult to spot these divergence when you're looking at the RSI or the MACD or whatever indicator you're using. So what I like to do is go to the RSI indicator here. So I'm going to X out of here. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean here. So let's go ahead and clear my chart. And what you would do if you're in TradingView, go to indicators right here at the top. Simply type in relative strength index, right? Once you do that, you will click it and it's right here. it will pull up your RSI. Okay, I'm going to give you my settings here, and the settings are just the normal settings, but I want you to see it because I know a lot of people have questions about this. So my settings here is my relative strength index is at 14. Okay, so it's kind of monitoring the last 14 days. My source is close. I have an SMA, that's this yellow line right here, just kind of smoothing out everything. Once it crosses, that's another indication when you can buy or sell. However, my MA or my moving average is at 14, and my BB standard deviation is at 2. Now, what you can do to find these divergence here is when you go to the input status, click where it says show divergence, hit OK, and it will spot every single divergence. Okay, so here's one that I just spot right here. Again, it correlates with price. And that's why I like to use my crosshairs, because you can see there's a cross here and I can just follow the cross and look where price is at, and price is headed down. It even labels bear here. So that means when it labels bear, that means that I want to sell. Let's go ahead and find it again. I'm going to get my crosshair here, find where price is at. I'm going to head up. I'm going to grab the top, and then I'm going to drag it all the way to the end where it says bear at, where my crosshair is. And you can see how price has moved up. And I grab my top here and price has moved down. That means that there is a sale coming. That means the volume is starting to decrease. That means that buyers are starting to weaken and the bears are starting to pick up. So you're always following what your RSI says here. Then you would sell to the 50 level or however you see fit, depending on the type of trader you are. So again, it will show you in the future here, if there is something going on, it will tell you where the divergence is. Now, sometimes it can just be hard to find. So if I'm using divergence, if I want to use this as confluence, confluence means just extra confirmation. I know that this is a resistance zone right here. I see price hit this resistance zone here again, but my price here or my RSI isn't quite at the 70 level. So should I sell or not? Oftentimes I would sell because it's simply at resistance. Okay, if I see that there is a red candle printing or the bears are starting to come in, I would often sell, just as long as I know that my RSI is above the 50 or close to the 70. That's a signal to me, especially if I'm at resistance here. The same as support. If price was right here at support, and let's say my RSI wasn't quite at the 30 level, but it was near it around this area, I may enter to buy, especially if I see a white candle print. Okay, let's go ahead and back test this again. You will see a number of these here. Just make sure you click show divergence in the RSI setting. So we have a bull here. It's green, easy to spot. Now, when you see the bulls, you're connecting the low to the next low here. So I'm going to get my trend line. I'm going to get my crosshair. I'm going to go straight up to see where price was reflecting. This is where it's at. And now I'm connecting all the way to where my crosshair in, which is right here. And you can see that my lows have been continuing to go low as far as price is concerned, but my indicator is showing that my lows are getting higher, which means price should rise. Now, again, this is indicators. It's not going to always happen, but typically you will see that. And price did rise for a few points, about 2.83%, which is pretty significant if you're a swing trader or even a day trader. So it took about 8 hours for that to happen, and that's pretty good. And then price dropped here again, and then I see another bull right here connecting my low to my next low, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get my crosshair, find out where price was at, right here to right here. So my low here started to cross my other low, and then you can see price started to move up. So very simple strategy, guys. A little bit about divergence. We haven't talked too much about divergence here, but we have plenty of videos and things like that we talk about with our students and in our academy and in our modules. But I did want to show you how you can actually use this, simply going to the RSI indicator, clicking on the settings button, and then clicking show divergence, and it will mark out all of your divergence for you. You have to make sure you click divergence or it will not show. If you don't want to use it, simply unclick it. It will disappear. So guys, let me know in the comments if this was helpful for you. If you're familiar with divergence, remember there's bullish divergence, there's bearish divergence, there's regular divergence, there's hidden divergence. So there's a number of different things that you can actually use. However, this one is just simple and plain, right? There is no reason for us to mess up on this. Now, as we always teach in the Academy, no indicator is 100%. So you always want to couple this with price action. Notice how I have my resistance zone here. I have my support zone here. This is what I'm mainly looking at here. I only plug in an RSI if I need help and if I want confluence. All right, so I will see you in the next video, guys. Hopefully this helped. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. And also be sure to sign up with our free Discord group. The link is in the description below. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.